We will be editing this photo that I took last year, and I really love this photo. This is one of the typical shots that everybody takes during the fall, and let's see what we can do with it. So the first thing I always like to do, and you should do too, is go to the lens correction panel and enable these two things. Make sure to enable the profile correction, so Lightroom will make sure if there's any corrections available for your lens, it will apply those. Next thing I like to do is get the crop right. So this is going on Instagram, but this is not going to be 4:5. This is the crop I would like to have. Hit yes. So the crop is done. Next thing I like to do is work on the exposure. So let's go to the basic panel. So let's work with the exposure first. Bring it down slightly. I usually don't touch the contrast. I work on the contrast in the tone curve panel. So we're gonna do that later. Highlights, I'm gonna bring down the highlights as well. Shadows, I will bring it slightly. That's good. Whites, yes. Whites up. Blacks, we're gonna leave it there. Clarity, I used to add a lot of clarity when I started my photography, but more and more I'm learning. I like to have my clarity taken down out of the photo, so we're gonna just take it down slightly. About 20 should be good. And we're gonna add some texture to make it up for the clarity that we took, about like 20 right here. This looks good. Now let's work on the contrast. So let's go in the tone curve section. Let's do the standard S curve. Because like when you add contrast, it also bring out colors in the image. So I like to work on the contrast before I work on the colors. Let's just bring the shadows up more, bring the whites down. I like to add another point here, so bring it down as well. Looking good. Let's take a look how far we have come. So before and after. Now we can go in the actual color section and start working on the colors. I want to work on the green, so let's go in the green. You can turn them yellow or dark green. I'm gonna go towards the yellow side just to like blend in the colors together in the image. Let's just add some saturation and decrease some luminance. That will do. I also want to work on this blue color that's been coming up. So let's go into the blue and let's take it down slightly. And less luminance will be good, because this is my main focus, should be the orange or yellow leaf. Let's go to the yellows and we'll work on the yellows. I'm gonna make them more orangey. Let's take some saturation down. It's just too orange, and some luminance as well. This is looking good. So this is what we had so far. Before, after, before, after. Let's go to details. We're gonna add some sharpness, but we're not gonna add sharpness to everything. So we're gonna use the masking tool. And if you hold the option key on your keyboard, you can see where the mask gonna apply. And we only want the masks to apply on these areas. So whatever is black in the image, that will be ignored, and all the white areas will get sharpened. So now we can add sharpness. I'm gonna go about 90. Looking good. Let's go back to our effect. Now we're gonna add some vignetting. I'm a big fan of vignetting, but we gonna feather it down just and bring the midpoint, so it's hard to tell where the vignetting is starting. Let's just bring it down slightly. Another tip I would like to give you guys is, like, when you're editing your photo, take a look here in the navigator window as well. So this is what most people are gonna see. If it's looking good there, keep working on it. Otherwise, adjust your crop. Now we can go in the color grading panel. So this is where you define your style. So I want to go to the highlights. I'm gonna get rid of that pink and add like slightly bluish color, and in the shadows you can go orange, or it's usually good to go with like opposite colors. So if I'm doing teal, I should go orange and vice versa. But I probably just gonna go slightly orange. That is looking good. This is what we started with. This is what we have so far. The only thing I would do is like add a radial filter here. So reset it, invert it, feather it 100% so it looks real, and just gonna add some clarity back into the image, like 10ish. That is good. Like slight clarity. I'm not really happy with the highlights, so we're gonna work on that. I'm gonna bring the highlights all the way down, and I think this is looking pretty good. I think I'm happy with the edit, and that is everything we needed to do. Only thing left is to export the photo. Thank you very much for your time, guys, and if you like the edit, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.